What's up, everybody? Jack Moves here. Gonna do another tutorial about the songwriting process for my new song Amelia, specifically the verse part and the pedal points I use to create some interesting harmonic and chord changes. So check it out. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna train the camera on my hand, and you're gonna watch me play just the first half so you can see what chords I'm actually playing. Then I'll explain what I'm doing. So, remember how I was talking earlier about pedal point. So the idea with that is you've got this bass line right here, which is giving us one note, right? It's giving us one note a bunch of times, but it's the same note. It's D, which is the key that it's in. Now, as you'll see as we go along, it's D with quotations around it because at certain points it might be considered D major or D mixolydian. At other points it might be considered a straight D minor. So to take a look at what we start with this is a neutral D5. Only two different notes here, not that much info on the chord. We got the D, the root, and the A, the fifth. So if you take a closer look at what the grid looks like, and I will add that I did perform this on a grid, or I did put this on a grid first, so chords came after, or rather playing it on the keyboard came after. So this is totally something you could do by drawing things in. You'll notice that as I move, apparently didn't quantize this at all, but as I move, at first it's just little movements involving a G going back up to an A, just solely for the purpose of creating a little bit of movement. You'll notice this A will be consistent throughout the entirety of the progression, which is 16 bars long. And then we've got a D going over to a C. Again, just small movement, not really a chord change. When we get here, though, I'm totally implying a G major chord. You've got G, B, and D, three main notes, but then you add the A on top, and you got a snazzy little G major 9 right there. Again, you've got that D present throughout this whole section, so it's although it is implying chord movement, you're still in the key of D. Now, as we move along, now to say another thing as well, G major would exist fine in a D major situation, but if it's D minor, that G is slightly out of the key, so there's a little bit of jostling around going on. Now there we got probably my favorite chord, which is the B flat major 7 over F. Okay, so you see we got F, A, B flat, D, and A haven't moved. Take a look at that on the grid. We've got F, A, B flat right next to it, giving it that tension. D, and again that's A, which makes it that nice major 7 sound. Now that exists perfectly fine in the key of D minor. Now from there, I like to hear, even if it's not blatant, a movement of 5 to 1, meaning the perfect cadence. So perfect cadence in the key of D, it would be an A chord back to the D. So we're sort of giving you that by going from here. It's like an A sus. So you've got the 5th E underneath. You've got G, the flat 7, A, the root, and D, which is our sus, and then an A over top of that. Now, second half. some little variations here. What happens is I'm going to go straight to a D major chord right here, and then we'll see where we go from there. So let's fix that. Okay, so second half, what we've got is we've got a D major chord. We've got the fifth right on the top. We've got F sharp, we've got a D, and we've got an A. So it's a D major over A. I add a major seventh in there. So this is totally in the key of D major, or you can think of it as a momentary move from a D major chord to an F sharp minor chord. It's a 3 minor. Always nice to get that in there. And then it also gives us a little descent into another G major 9, this time over B. Then from there, it's going to be a C major chord. Where were we again? Not there. Here. Right here. This one. So that's giving us our a flat 7 down to an implied D7. Now the reason that's an implied D7 is the presence of the flat 7, C, and D. This repeats itself. Down to a G major 9 technically. Then back to our B flat major 7, which you'll see here. Right here, B flat minor 7, B flat major 7, and then a full on from here, a full on A7, however, with this somewhat dissonant D note remaining within the voicing. And there you go. You got a bunch of movement, although it doesn't stray outside of D in the bass, and you've got this fifth ringing overhead. So hopefully that gives you an idea of some variation you can perform within a song that you still want to keep relatively in the box, so to speak. Thanks very much. This is Jack Moves. I'll see you next time.